never thought I'd refer to a car using a fashion term, but here it is. Pret-a-porter. I'm not even sure if I'm pronouncing it properly, but regardless. Now, is it because on this episode of Behind the Wheel, it's a nod to the managing director of Ford Philippines, who is French-Canadian? Maybe. Could it be because all I remember from the 90s movie of the same name is at the end, the fashion models were all butt naked? That's probably closer to the truth. But in reality, pret-a-porter simply because this thing truly is ready to wear. Direct from the showroom and eager for the get-go is the 2019 Ford Ranger Raptor. You take one look at this thing and you're thinking, easy on the juice, buddy, while others might be thinking, nah, just give it some more roids. The trick here was to find the balance between Doomsday Machine and Sunday's Best. Okay, that's kind of far apart, but you catch my drift. Basically, enough to rip up any terrain, but not be a nuisance on paved roads. If the size and stance don't give it away, the less than demure grille, which can be seen from Michigan Avenue, by the way, should help. There's a skid plate on the bottom, which has obviously seen some action, and a bumper that's mounted to the chassis, which, by the way, is wider and has strengthened components by Ford Performance, that also has tow hooks that can hold the weight of an African elephant. Seriously. Down the side, immediately you'll notice the flares above the wheel wells and the BF Goodrich tires on 17-inch blacked out rims. Now there's 283 millimeters of ground clearance and of course 800 millimeters of weighting depth, but that's not as impressive as what's underneath. You've got Fox shocks, coil springs, and 11.5 inches of travel. Some of the main reasons why this pickup is 300,000 pesos more expensive than your average Wildtrak and worth every peso. Not stiff outdoors and not flat in the city. Now at the back, it's your basic pickup rear, really. Tailgate, you got a Raptor badge there, another bumper that's mounted to the chassis, tow hooks that can hold less weight than up front, this time only a hippo. Oh, and cheap thrill. A tailgate lift assist that allows even a 3.5-foot, 30-pound princess to close it on her own. In the back, nothing to report. Your average bench, it's got a 12-volt socket and a 230-volt plug and a center armrest with cup holders in a pickup. Not bad. Can we get up front now, please? Quickly. Now, if you've ever stepped into a Ford Ranger, then most everything in here is pretty familiar. And if you haven't, to help you out with that, Jacob's article can be found by clicking on the link on the screen right now or on the link found in the description below. Though familiar, there are signs of steroid use in here as well as there was on the outside. You've got the gauges, the seats, even the cool steering wheel with the mode selector on the right-hand side and the red stripe in the middle. Yeah, these guys make even Brandon Vera look like a wimp. But I'd never say that to his face. I value my life way too much. Look, we're outside Metro Manila, we're in a Raptor. We can chit-chat until we're blue in the face, or we can find some dirt to rip. Let's go! The Ranger Raptor comes equipped with 6 airbags, ABS with EBD, Hill Start Assist, Cruise Control, ISOFIX, and Terra Management System with Baja Mode. Oh look! Paved roads! Well, while we're here, let's get down to the nitty-gritty. Up front is a 2-liter bi-turbo that pushes out 210 horses and 500 Nm of torque on a 10-speed automatic transmission. Basically the same as the Wildtrak. What isn't the same as the Wildtrak is that the steering is a little bit heavier, thanks probably because of its larger shoes. Also, we've noticed while driving on paved roads, yay, fun, is that it's not as bouncy. Don't get me wrong, if you've ever been in a pickup, then obviously, yes, it is bouncy, right? It still is, but it's less. It's a little bit more demure, I should say, thanks largely to its suspension. If on a rig you can buy straight from the casa that has Baja Mode on its selector, you're concerned about fuel economy, well, this might not be necessarily the car for you. But, like idiots, we do have those figures for you. In the city, this thing was able to do 7.5 kilometers per liter. Not bad. On the highway, much better, thanks to its 10-speed automatic transmission. It gets 14.5 kilometers per liter. A weird thing about the Raptor, though, is that the insulation is odd. And I do mean odd, because you can hear the engine when you rev it, right? But the tires, which are obviously noisy tires because they're meant for gripping, you can't hear them when you're traveling on the road. It's odd. I should be able to hear the tires and not the engine. I am an Arctic monkey sitting in a hot spring happy to tell you that I have no idea what the fuel consumption is over lahar beds at 80 kilometers per hour. But I will tell you, it's a hell of a lot of fun. With the accelerator married to the floor like a bachelor to a trust fund, the lahar beds were a perfect playground during Ford's media drive in Zambales. Laid down some decent tracks over a kilometer stretch, caught some good air, and brought home over a kilo of volcanic ash. That was a great day. Dude, we gotta find something a little bit more exciting than these paved roads, a brook, a creek, a patch of grass, sand, anything. This is boring.
Oo nga eh.
Ano yun? Delayed reaction?
Nag-hiccup ako.
Yeah, that'll do. Jordan! The 2019 Ford Ranger Raptor sticker price is 1,998,000 Philippine pesos. Really, it's not that far from your run-of-the-mill wild track. And plus, for 300 grand more, you get all that technology developed by Ford Performance. That is, of course, if you can get your hands on one. See, the best way to go about that is to check out AutoDeal and see which dealer closest to you has this guy in stock, because this thing moves like a hot stepper.